of the Imitation of Christ by Thomas à Kempis. Book 3 of Interior Consolation. Chapter 31 of Neglecting Every Creature, that so we may find the Creator. Lord, I stand in need of a grace yet greater, if I am to arrive so far that it may not be in the power of any man nor any created thing to hinder me. For as long as anything holds me back, I cannot freely fly to thee. He was desirous to fly freely to thee, who said, Who will give me wings like a dove? And I will flee away and be at rest. What can be more at rest than a single eye? And what can be more free than he who desires nothing upon earth? A man ought therefore to mount far above every creature, and perfectly to forsake himself, and in ecstasy of mind to see that thou, the Creator of all things, art in no wise like thy creatures. And unless a man be disentangled from all creatures, he cannot freely make things divine his aim. And this is the reason why there are found so few contemplative men, because there are few who know how to separate themselves wholly from perishing and created things. For this a great grace is required, which may raise the soul and bear it up above itself. And unless a man be raised in spirit, and set free from all creatures, and wholly made one with God, whatever he knows and whatever he has is of no great weight. A long while shall he be little, and low shall he lie, who esteems anything great, but only the one immense eternal good. And whatsoever is not God is nothing, and ought to be accounted as nothing. There is a great difference between the wisdom of an enlightened and devout man, and the knowledge of a well-read and studious clerk. Far more noble is that learning which flows from above, from the divine influence, than that which is painfully gained by the wit of man. Many are found to desire contemplation, but they make it not their aim to practice those things which are required thereunto. It is a great hindrance that we rest in signs and sensible things, and have but little of perfect mortification. I know not what it is, by what spirit we are led, nor what we pretend to, who seem to be called spiritual, that we take so much pains and have a great solicitude for transitory and mean things, and scarce ever have our senses fully recollected to think of our own inner life. Alas, after a slight recollection, we presently break out again, neither do we weigh well our works by a strict examination. We take no notice where our affections lie, nor do we bewail the lack of pure intention. For all flesh had corrupted its way, and therefore the great flood came upon it. As therefore our inward affection is greatly corrupted, it must needs be that the action which follows should also be corrupt, for it shows that we lack inward vigor. From a pure heart proceeds the fruit of a good life. We are apt to inquire how much a man has done, but with how much virtue he acts is not so diligently considered. We ask whether he be strong, rich, fair, a ready or a good writer, a good singer, a good workman. But many say nothing of how poor he is in spirit, how patient and meek, how devout and spiritual. Nature looks upon the outward things of a man, but grace turns herself to the inward. Nature often mistakes, but grace has her trust in God, that she may not be deceived. And that concludes Chapter 31 of Book 3 of The Imitation of Christ.